You plan. You prepare. You run every possible scenario through your head twice. And still, when the moment comes, you freeze. You doubt. You stall. Because even after all the overthinking, you still don't feel ready. You ask, did I miss something? What if it goes wrong? What if they don't understand me? What if I forgot to consider something important? So you go back, reanalyze, recalculate, and spiral again. It's not just exhausting. It's endless. Here's the secret no one tells you. Purple circle overthinking doesn't lead to peace. Purple circle, it leads to paralysis. Purple circle because it's not about preparation. It's about protection. You don't overthink because you're careful. You overthink because you're scared. Scared of getting it wrong. Scared of being judged. Scared of being caught off guard. Scared of losing control. So your brain creates this illusion. If I just think hard enough, I'll avoid pain. But pain isn't logical. Life isn't predictable. People aren't controllable. So no matter how much you think, your body still feels unsafe. That's why you feel drained. Your mind is running 1,000 tabs, but none of them lead to relief. If you've ever rewritten the same message 12 times, spent more time planning than doing, felt anxious even after preparing everything, missed opportunities because you were thinking it through, you're not broken. You're just stuck in a loop. And loops don't end with more thought. They end with permission. In the next topic, I'll show you where overthinking comes from, how your nervous system uses it to protect you, and why you still feel unprepared, even when you've done everything right. Because the problem isn't your logic, it's the fear underneath it. You don't overthink because you're indecisive. You overthink because a part of you believes thinking is safer than doing. Planning is safer than showing up. If I just analyze more, I can avoid pain. But let's be clear. Purple circle overthinking is not intelligence. Purple circle, it's a survival strategy. Purple circle, and it starts when your nervous system confuses action with threat. 1. You were taught that mistakes are dangerous. Maybe you grew up in a home where failure came with criticism, shame, punishment, emotional withdrawal. So you learned, I have to get it right. I don't get second chances. And when that pressure builds, you over-prepare, overcorrect, overthink. Because the cost of wrong feels too high. 2. You learn to perform, not just exist. If your worth was tied to being the good girl, the responsible one, the one who never messed up, then every decision becomes a test. One wrong move could prove you're not enough. So you try to be perfect. And when perfection isn't possible, you get stuck in your head. Let me think it through one more time. Let me fix this before anyone sees. Overthinking becomes a shield you wear to avoid being seen as flawed. 3. You confuse control with safety. Your brain loves control. It creates the illusion that if you plan enough, you can avoid rejection, embarrassment, disappointment, failure. But no amount of planning can eliminate risk. And the more you try, the more you lose your ability to tolerate uncertainty. So instead of stepping forward, you stay in your head looping, because control feels familiar. But that doesn't mean it's working. 4. Your nervous system doesn't trust action. When you've been hurt by decisions before, or when people made you feel small for choosing wrong, your body learns. Thinking is safer than trying. Trying leads to shame. It's better to freeze than fail. And so, you stay stuck, not because you don't want to move forward, but because your body won't let you. That's not laziness. That's a fear response. 5. Overthinking becomes a form of self-protection. Every time you avoid acting, you avoid exposure, vulnerability, unpredictability, but you also avoid growth, joy, authentic connection, the life you actually want. Because thinking about life isn't the same as living it. Light bulb the truth. Overthinking doesn't mean you're incapable. It means your body doesn't feel safe enough to begin. And until that changes, your brain will keep choosing loops over leaps. But the good news is, you can retrain it, not by silencing your thoughts, but by building safety around action. In the next topic, I'll share the story of a woman who overthought everything until one unexpected moment cracked her armor and taught her that doing is messy, but it's also what sets you free. Because you don't need more certainty. You need more permission to act afraid. Her name was Isadora. She thought about everything. Twice. She never sent a message without rewriting it. Never made a decision without research. Never said yes to something new without worrying for days first. She called it being cautious. Others called her responsible. But the truth? She was exhausted. Because her mind never stopped. Even in silence, her brain was a storm of, what if? Should I? Did I mess that up? Will they hate me for this? One day, she was offered a speaking opportunity, small, casual, safe. The kind of thing people would say, come on, it's not a big deal. But to her, it felt terrifying. She wanted to say yes, but her mind screamed, you'll mess it up. They'll regret inviting you. You're not ready. So she froze. And for days, she thought about it. Rehearsed. Panicked. Overanalyzed every possible outcome. Then came the message. Hey, just confirming, are you still in? Her chest tightened. She almost said no. Almost lied. Almost stayed in the loop where she was safest. Her mind. But something in her cracked. She whispered out loud. I'm scared. But I'm tired of this. So she replied, yes, I'll be there. And hit send. Her hands shook. Her stomach turned. Her brain yelled at her. But she showed up. And she didn't say everything perfectly. She stuttered once. She forgot a point. But after, someone walked up and said, that really landed. Thank you. She almost cried. Not because it went well, but because she realized, I don't have to feel ready to begin. That moment changed everything. She started saying yes faster. Started taking action, even when her mind said think again. And slowly, her body stopped panicking at the idea of moving. Because every time she did something scared, and didn't die, her nervous system rewired. If you see yourself in Isadora, if you're constantly waiting to be sure before you begin, please know, overthinking isn't your personality. It's your protection strategy. But it doesn't have to be permanent. You don't need to silence the fear. You just need to act without its permission. In the next topic, I'll share practical steps to help you step out of your mind and back into your life, without panic, without pressure. Because overthinking won't give you the answer. Action will. You don't need to stop thinking. You just need to stop thinking instead of living. Here's how to gently interrupt the loop and start building trust with action. 1. Use the 10-minute rule. When you catch yourself spiraling over a decision, ask, What's one tiny action I could take in the next 2 minutes? Examples. Send the email without perfecting it. Walk away from the draft and breathe. Say yes to the plan without explaining yourself. Press publish before your mind talks you out of it. This rewires the brain to associate action with safety, not threat. 2. Name the fear, then move anyway. Write down the thought that's looping. They'll think I'm annoying. What if I fail? I'll sound stupid. Then ask, what would I do if I wasn't trying to prevent that? And do a small version of that. You're not ignoring fear. You're releasing its control. Because the goal isn't to be fearless. It's to be free. 3. Switch from what if to what's real. Your brain loves worst-case scenarios. So grounded in facts. What's real right now? Am I in danger? Is there actual evidence or just mental noise? Then take a breath and act from what's real, not from what's rehearsed in fear. 4. Let messy be the goal. Overthinking is rooted in the fantasy of perfection. So set the opposite goal. I will move forward messily. Say it aloud. Feel the relief. Messy means you're in motion. Messy means you stopped waiting for permission. Messy means you're alive. 5. Create a post-action safety ritual. Overthinkers often feel panic after acting. So build a ritual that says, I did the brave thing and I'm safe. Examples. Put your hand on your heart and say, I'm proud of me. Play a calming song right after hitting send. Journal for 60 seconds. Here's what I did and why it mattered. You're training your nervous system to survive success without backlash. This isn't about rushing, or being reckless, or silencing your mind. It's about letting life happen again. One imperfect, beautiful, honest step at a time. In the next topic, I'll guide you through a powerful visualization designed to help your body feel safe with movement, so that thinking no longer becomes your only shelter. Because courage doesn't start in the mind, it starts in the body. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath in. And exhale slowly, like you're releasing every what if that's kept you stuck. Again. Inhale gently. Exhale everything that isn't happening right now. Let this breath say, I don't need to have all the answers to take one step. Now imagine this. You are standing at the edge of a calm, quiet path. It's surrounded by trees. No noise. No pressure. Just the next step. You're not being chased. No one is watching. There's no timer. There is only this. The option to move, or to stay frozen. And this time, you take one step forward. Your body doesn't explode. The sky doesn't fall. Nothing breaks. Because all that happened is that you moved. Now place your hand over your chest. Feel your breath. Feel your body holding you. Whisper this to yourself. I don't need to rehearse life before I live it. I can feel unsure and still act. I am safe to move forward without certainty. I don't need to earn permission to begin. Let those words settle, not just in your mind, but in your nervous system. Now imagine a version of you ahead on the path. She's smiling softly, not perfectly. She's not done. She's not flawless. But she's free. You walk toward her. Not because she knows everything, but because she stopped waiting to be sure. She opens her arms, and you realize she was always me. Just one decision ahead. Take one more breath. Say aloud or in your heart, I don't have to think my way through life. I get to feel it. I get to live it. And I'm allowed to begin, even now. If this video helped loosen even one knot in your chest, please like it, share it, and subscribe. This space is here to remind you. You are not a problem to solve. You are a story still being written. And it's okay if you don't know the next page. It's okay to write it as you go. You've thought enough. Now you get to live.